When it comes to international recognition, India has kind of a mixed image. Depending on who you ask, you'll either find that it's an exotic paradise with a rich and vibrant culture and amazing food and sights to see, or you'll get told that it's the land of scams and bobs and vagines. Obviously, it doesn't help that we have thousands of people on the internet acting like this.
Lock up your mothers, lock up your aunties, and any other women of legal age limit. Chabadi G, aka 50 Shades of Brown, is ready for action.
And when it comes to Bollywood or Indian movies in general, you see a similar pattern. On one hand, you have Kojima-san himself singing praises of our movies, and on the other hand, when you say Bollywood, most people think of stuff like this. So today we're taking a look at a game that sheds a light on some great aspects of India while wrapping it up in a neat Bollywood package. I'm talking about Detective Dotson, or as I like to call it, Bollywood, the video game. So let's kick things off with reasons why this game should be on your radar. My favorite thing about Detective Dotson is how incredibly and innately Indian it feels. From the names of the different items and characters, to the goofy dialogue, to the setting of the game and even the plot, every fiber of this game oozes desi charm and flavor. If a guard catches you somewhere you're not supposed to be, he'll throw his chappal straight at you. You'll find a pan shop tucked in a tiny gully. You'll see a barat on a busy street, and you can even bribe government officials for information. It's all very authentic. And the visual style is great too. The 2D sprites stand out really well against the 3D backdrop, and there's something hilariously funny and kind of adorable about a little 2D guy riding a 3D scooter. The world is colorful and vibrant and yet has a homely, cozy vibe to it. Even on a smaller scale, the game manages to capture the soul of its Indian roots beautifully and creates a diorama that feels true to life. But that's only the shiny surface that hides a darker truth. Don't let the bright colors and the desi charm fool you, because at its core, Detective Dotson is a murder mystery through and through, or better yet, a killer thriller. Dotson needs to find out who killed his father, and that journey lands him in the midst of a major conspiracy that may just go all the way to the top. The game starts off easy, like the first case was so straightforward that I was actually worried that the whole game would be very simple. But I was pleasantly surprised because it gets increasingly complex as you progress, and you discover how each case ties into your search for the killer. The story unfolds in a typical movie-like fashion, with plenty of drama and intrigue to keep you going. Things get melodramatic at times and equally goofy at others. Really, a lot of times, Detective Dotson feels like a clear love letter to Bollywood movies that I used to watch growing up. I mean, there's even divine intervention to help you solve the crucial mystery. Solving the cases requires you to keep an eye out for clues around the city, talk to different people, disguise yourself to sneak into places and to eavesdrop, and trade for information. Once you have enough clues, you can piece it together on the evidence board, kinda like the case board in Alan Wake 2. Now, a lot of these people you talk to are into some shady stuff themselves, so be prepared for a whole bunch of blaming, shaming, and framing. Needless to say, your inner mohalle wali auntie will have plenty of gossip to enjoy. And in order to get folks to spill their secrets, you'll have to provide them something in exchange, which means you'll need to make some money, and you can do that by indulging in some fun side activities. One of these side activities is also India's national pastime, cricket. You can partake in a quick game of gully cricket, which presents a number of increasingly challenging trials. Just like in real life, it turns out that I sucked at cricket in this game too, but it's still a fun little minigame that you can enjoy. Other minigames include find the hidden objects style games, where you can either look for stuff in a big scene or in a sweet old grandma's attic. Both give you the option to increase or decrease the number of objects you need to find, and the reward money goes up or down accordingly. You can also sell the stuff that you buy from stores to other people, and in both situations, you can haggle, as is your birthright, to get a better deal. My favorite is when you're selling something for a higher price than when you bought it, and you tell the other person that you're giving them a friends and family discount. Sometimes you'll need to break into places for which you'll have to get a disguise. One of these disguises turns you into a woman named Karishma, which to me sounds way too specific and dangerously close to identity theft. Please remember,
identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer every year.
Now, as Karishma, you can break into a club to find secret information, and you can also break into dance at any point you want. And the cool thing is that the NPCs around you will also start dancing. After all, this is Bollywood, baby. The other disguise is of a sadhu that allows you to read people's minds. It's kinda like Hitman, but without the bloody murder. Now, invasion of privacy aside, this is a great disguise because other than detecting criminal thoughts, it also lets you discover that the sweet old grandma has an AI startup. And here I am, sitting in my boxers playing video games on a Monday morning.
What am I doing with my life?
There's also a little bit of platforming involved. You can climb up the ledges to reach some of the people. It works really well, and while coming down, Dotson automatically glides to soften his landing, which is a nice touch, but that's pretty much it. The core gameplay loop revolves mostly around you getting information out of people and then raking your brain on the evidence board. Along with the game, you also get access to Detective Dotson, the movie. I'm not going to go into details to avoid spoilers, but it's a 1 hour long movie that adds some good context to the characters and the events leading up to the game. It's well made, the acting is solid, and it's kind of really out there. You'll have to watch it for yourself. All in all, it's a really fun watch, and it made me wish that the game had more voiced lines. I didn't really run into any bugs during my time with the game, but I feel like there are a couple of small things, mostly quality of life stuff that could use some attention. The first is controller settings. The game is flawless with the keyboard and mouse, but when playing with the controller, the right stick feels way too sensitive. An option to adjust that in the settings would be a godsend. Another little thing that I think would have really added to the experience was if the colors that people throw at you during Holi were actually visible on you. Right now, they disappear with a huge colored poof, which by itself looks great, but making it so that the characters also had the color on their bodies would have been so much cooler. Now, there was one bug that I saw where people would just walk off the hotel balcony and disappear, which honestly, more than anything, was just funny to watch. But hear me out. Instead of fixing it, I think the devs should add another tall building on the other side and a tightrope and make two dudes watch over it. Why? Because when I saw this bug, the first thing it reminded me of was this scene. Making games is hard. Making games in India, much like a lot of other things, is much harder. Not only do you have to deal with the usual issues like budgets and work culture and finding the right mix of audience, but you also have bigger issues like regulations and certifications and industry geniuses that willfully conflate gaming and gambling to line their own pocket. So, as much as I'd like to see India have its own Black Myth Wukong or GTA, sadly, it doesn't seem like we have the kind of resources and support system that the game devs need in order to make such a blockbuster title, at least not right now. Which is pretty ironic because Indian studios end up doing art and VFX and support work for some of the biggest games and movies in the world. Which is why I think that programs like ID at Xbox and PlayStation's India Hero Project are going to be a big boon for the game development scene in India. We'll get there for sure, but until that happens, it's going to be games like Detective Dotson that carry the torch and inspire both players and developers to advance the industry. But that doesn't mean you should buy Detective Dotson only because it's made in India. You should buy it because it's a solid, fun game. The gameplay loop is simple yet engaging, and the game itself is only about 5 hours long, which is just the right spot that prevents it from feeling stale. You can sit and finish it in one sitting if you want, or just chill with it over a weekend and take it slow and just immerse yourself in it. It has a vibrant and colorful art style that evokes good old memories for people who have been here and offers a nice little glimpse into the culture for those who haven't. At a time where games are getting unreasonably expensive and more publishers are pushing gamers towards subscription models, Detective Dotson is reasonably priced, which matters a lot, because it costs basically as much as ordering a meal from DoorDash or Swiggy for my fellow Indians. But more than anything, Detective Dotson took me back to a time when I still enjoyed all the pageantry and the drama and the goofiness of Bollywood movies, and for that reason, it'll be special for me. I loved my time with this game, and if you liked what you heard about it in the video, I'm sure you will too.